people, welcome again, back again for another post-match analysis. Liverpool against Spurs. Yes, we got another W. I'm happy for that. I'm happy, but don't get it twisted. It wasn't a straightforward game as usual. We should have done better. We should have smashed them off the park. In the pre-match analysis, I said we were gonna get the W. We did. I said Isak was gonna score, and I said Wirtz was gonna score. Okay, Wirtz didn't score, but an assist. Happy with that. Certain fans can stop now with the double O's. And anyway, positive. We won. But just about, to be honest with you, I'm happy we won, but I'm not happy with our gameplay, how we managed the game, the onslaught from Spurs, which we're gonna break down against 10 men. We should have walloped them. We should have took them to the cleaners and ran right in the capital, but we didn't do that. But I'm happy. So the first major incident, of course, was Simmons got sent off. He decided to scrape his boot back of Van Dijk's calf, sorry, and it was, to me, I said straight away red card, and so said so done. VAR, boom, red card it was. Now at that moment, I thought, yes, this is what I wanted. Okay, I prefer 11v11 because then no one can say anything. But 10 men, 11 players, Liverpool, of course, have the superior players all round. We're going to take them to the cleaners. We're going to batter them. But did we do that? No, this is Liverpool. Inconsistency when we should be consistent and just battering team. You get what I'm saying? But anyway, Slot did a good thing. He took off Bradley, if I recall right. Yeah, he took off Bradley and he brought on Isak. Big up yourself. I hope it's not a serious injury. I hope he gets back before the season ends and propels his career back to where it should be. You get what I'm saying? It was I'm reading various reports that it's actually broken. Something is broken. I hope it's not that. I hope it's not that serious. But big up yourself, Isak. You scored one. And from that point on, I thought, yes, we're gonna do this. We're gonna batter them. But did we do that? No, we didn't. Big up Ekitike. Like I said, we're just gonna cover the positives first. Big up Ekitike. Did his thing as usual. Here you go. Here you go. Can't say can't praise him enough. Basically, like the guy has been phenomenal for us. One of the signings of the season, and he's at the moment single-handedly in terms of goals. Anyway, saving our season and saving Slot's arse. You get what I'm saying? But I've never been Slot out. I've always been Slot sorted out. You get what I'm saying? So let's move on. We're gonna dive into some numbers, break down some of the things that happened. But essentially, when the game started, the lineup was pretty as expected. Spurs, they usually do 4-2-3-1, but Frank decided to go for a 4-4-2, and we deployed our usual 4-2-3-1, and it worked like a charm for most of the game until obviously the sending off, which changed things in the second half. Well, he got sent off in the first half, 33rd minute, but it's not until the second half that we actually capitalize with Isak coming on, and you get what I'm saying? Beautiful goal, striker's goal, ran onto the ball, pinged it to the bottom right hand corner. Beautiful. Couldn't, like I said, hopefully Isak gets better. So we're gonna run down through some numbers and see what was going on, because it was, like I said, I wasn't happy with the football we played. We should have been a lot better. We should have been more compact. We should have been tight. We should have been more aggressive. Balls through the middle, breaking the lines. And because we had the numerical advantage, we should have taken the game to Spurs. But as you probably watched, they took it to us. We were the ones actually scrambling, especially when Richarlison scored on when he came on around the 83rd minute. Can't remember exactly, but around that time, Richarlison scored, made it 2-1, and it was squeaky bum time. And we were just, yeah. But anyway, let's go through some of the stats now. As expected, we had the better possession. We had the higher possession, 65 against 35, which against 10 men, you usually expect, but we didn't capitalize on it. So don't let this high possession, ball possession fool you, because we didn't do much of it, because a lot of it we just circulated between us. You get what I'm saying? In the back, especially Kanate, Van Dijk, and then sometimes Gravenberch would drop in, do the same thing, passing side to side, not really doing penetrating balls and going for the juggler against Spurs. So a lot of the possession was actually wasted. Now, expected goals, which I found a bit weird, because to be honest, I thought our XG would be higher, but as you can see, Spurs' XG was higher than us, 1.07 against our 0.66. Anyway, next one, shots on target, 4-4. I expected Liverpool to have more, and it should have been more. Especially we've got the superior players, we've got the better players, and I've said it again. We should have took them to the cleaners and just run right. But somehow we were just lethargic. We were just slow in transitions. Moving across the park was just slow. And credit to Spurs, they took it to us. They were closing us down. They were being aggressive. Some would argue too aggressive, hence the yellow cards and the red cards that persevered, that came through. So some were probably screaming at me like, "Mate, you were down to 9." They were down to 9. No, because Romero got sent off in the 93rd minute. So game was pretty much done. Not much left. Not much time. But Richarlison, I, I don't know what he was doing there, but I I don't know if any kind of retrospective yellow cards or anything can be done, because that what he did on Ekitike is diabolical. It's disgusting, and he should have been punished, and I hope he gets punished. But anyway, let's move on. So fouls, as expected, Spurs obviously did more fouls because they were being more aggressive. They're trying to get at us more than we were getting at them. So it makes sense that it's high. Where I expected us to do well is corners, and we got 6, and they only got 2. Now corners, Van Dijk, Kanate, even we usually do good, but for some reason we didn't capitalize on any of the corners that we got, which is a damn shame, because I think we could have nicked a couple more goals from those positions, but we didn't. It is what it is. Now, let's move on to shots and how that panned out in the game. Now, they had 15 shots against our 8. Again, I found that alarming, because as the team with the numerical advantage, we we should expect to have more shots off on target. It doesn't matter. We should just be getting at them more. But like I said, we for some reason didn't manage the game very well, and we just kept on giving Spurs chances. But equally, they gave us more chances. Hence, we won more because they gave us the chance to win. Sorry, by getting players sent off, doing stupid things. So anyway, next one, 4 shots on target, 4-4 each. It's all good, neither here or there. But shots inside the box, I found a bit weird, because how can they have more shots in the box than us? Because to me, it doesn't make sense. Yes, we sat back a lot of the time for some odd reason, instead of going, gun ho and just going for them. We sat back a lot, and just invited chances after chances against Spurs. So in the end, happy days. We won. It wasn't a great game of football. I am worried about Liverpool's style of play at the moment, because we're inconsistent, although we're nicking wins here and there. Like I said before, 4 wins in the last 6, 2 draws, which could have gone anyway if you watched the game. And I'm happy in that sense, but the football's not great, Liverpool fans. If we're honest, it's not the title-winning performance that we should be giving. You get what I'm saying, to the fans. So let's move on to where we stand. The win takes us right up. We're nearly in the top 4. We're 5th at the moment, 29 points, goal difference of 3. It is what it is, and we're only separated by goal difference with Chelsea, who are on 12. Which was a mad game in itself. Now, I'm a fan of Gordon. At first I wasn't really a fan, but after watching him a couple of times, I've done a video on him and how great he's been doing. I think Newcastle should have had a penalty because Chalaba is planting his right leg like that into Gordon as he went for the ball. I think it was a stonewall penalty, but it wasn't given. So Chelsea got away with one and they won. Sorry, they drew 2-2. Right at the top, Arsenal. Arsenal. You guys are so lucky. Um, Everton brought the game to you. I think they were done dirty because I've seen them given like that Saliba foul on Barry. That should have been a penalty in my humble opinion because I've seen them given. Do you know when last time that was given? Against Van Dijk against Brentford. Ball comes, Van Dijk goes to clear it. So is the I can't remember the striker for Brentford. Yeah, I can't remember the striker for Thiago. I think it was. Don't remember, but yeah, he kicked the ball. Van Dijk went after him, kicked it, kicked his leg. VAR intervened. Penalty was given. But somehow against Everton, when Barry got kicked by Saliba, it wasn't given. But anyway, Arsenal end up winning 1-0 courtesy of a Jokeres penalty. It is what it is. We move. End of the day, a win is a win. Most fans will take it, regardless of how it came to be. Man City are bubbling. They're definitely um, doing well and putting the pressure on Arsenal. Other bits and bobs. Sorry to go back to the Arsenal fan. Yes, I can hear Arsenal fans screaming because if I recall right, um, Jesus got kicked in a similar fashion by Douglas Luiz for Villa. Jesus kicked the ball. Luiz comes after him, kicks him. That penalty wasn't given. So all we're saying really is yes, swings and roundabouts and all that, but consistency, please. PGMOE, whatever the abbreviation is, please. We just need some consistency. If you're gonna give it there, give it throughout. If you're not gonna give it throughout, don't. You get what I'm saying? Just consistency. So at least fans will be like, yeah, VAR this, VAR that, blah blah blah. You get what I'm saying? Just some consistency. Happy we're moving up the table. Happy for the win. We're fifth. 10 points away from the top. That's 3 games and a draw. It is what it is. We'll see. But it could be worse. We've lost 6, won 9, drawn 2. It can be worse. But Slot, please, better football, and we'll get there. Quick recovery, Isak. Big up Salah out there in AFCON doing his thing. I believe Egypt played today. But yeah, until next time for the Wolves game, I believe we're at home. We should batter them. I want to win, a certified, cemented win, goals galore, because they're at the bottom. But as you know, they should have won against Arsenal because, again, sorry, I keep bringing up Arsenal, but they just keep getting the rub of the green. It is what it is. Because how can a team win without scoring a single goal themselves? You get what I'm saying? That's how the 3 goals all scored by the same team, not Arsenal. Anyway, next time Wolves game, we got this. Yeah, big up.